You know, Tisha, she told me it's actually a matter of life and death. She says just because the government stops doesn't mean rape and violent crime does, and it certainly doesn't stop the emotional distress either. When a sexual assault survivor calls the Fayetteville Rape Crisis Center's hotline, they expect to hear a voice, but the partial government shutdown could cause them to get a voicemail box instead.
We were notified on Friday that that funding has stopped trickling down.
Deanne Gertis runs the Rape Crisis Center here in Fayetteville. With funding from the Federal Violence Against Women grant hung up in the shutdown, she had no choice but to furlough her staff.
To have that conversation with staff was very difficult.
And to Deanne's surprise, her employees still showed up.
I couldn't figure out why I wouldn't come to work.
Kelsey Gowinski is an advocate for cold case rape victims. She mans the hotline phones as well, talking with survivors who are desperate for help.
They don't get to push pause on their trauma just because of a government shutdown.
But unfortunately, the shutdown puts a pause on her paycheck.
We bought our first house last year, so of course we have mortgage payments.
As we were interviewing Kelsey, one of her cold case rape survivors came in. She had no clue that the shutdown could shut out hundreds of victims like her.
It infuriates me because you just can't turn your back. These women need to be heard.
Her story of survival started in 1993.
I was kidnapped, knocked unconscious, put in the trunk of my car, taken to Harnett County, beaten, tied to a tree while this was going on by 3 men.
3 years ago, Fayetteville police reopened her case to track down the suspects, but it's the help from the Rape Crisis Center that helped her find her voice.
It's the godsend. These victims, they need support every day, 24/7. You don't walk away from them.
Now, thankfully, employees over at the Rape Crisis Center say that they'll continue to come to work as long as they can. A GoFundMe page, though, has been set up to help offset the operational costs of keeping that center open. We're in Fayetteville tonight. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
They care so much about the women in the community. Morgan, thank you. And our coverage